Have no fear, the Duckster's here. Welcome to another episode of Duckster's Wolverine Garage, where today we are going to look at my 79 CBX project. Um, this is a long-term project that I pick at when I get a few extra dollars. So, um, it's a long-term project. Shop truck will be cruising down the road long before this thing is. So I know there's a lot of excitement for CBXs. I mean, I love them. But yeah, this is going to be something that you don't expect updates on it very often. But yeah, so enjoy the show. So here I am at the painters, and this is paint work that he's done on my 79 CBX, and it's looking minty, guys. There is my side covers, and my tank, my front fender, and the fairing, bullet nose fairing for it. It's got a really nice conical windshield that goes up here. It's going to look really good on the old 6-cylinder, and it's just slicker than snot. Still work in progress, still needs some stripes laid. Here are the stripes. And this is going to go around. It's not going to be factory, but it's going to still look really good when she's together. And I mean, and yes, the paint is just as good as it looks. It's just Marvy. It looks wet. I'm so happy. So, big shout out to Dan the Painter Man. So, yeah. More soon. Today is a good day in the Wolverine Garage. I brought home the paintwork finished for my 79 CBX. Maybe once the weather turns super cold and I can't go outside anymore, we'll start tinkering on this in the Wolverine Garage. I gotta let this sit here for a few weeks and gas off. And then I'm probably going to polish everything up real nice with some wax and make it even sexier than it looks now. I know. Yeah, I wish you could get this out in the sun. This color is just fabulous. But yeah, I'm very pleased. Few things aren't too factory, but that's okay. These side covers are supposed to be flat black, and my painter goofed and painted them body color. And I mean, it don't look bad. So, and plus the seat's black. So I'm going to run it like that for a while and see. And no fault of the painter, but this company that made these decals, and I paid dearly for these decals, they're die cut just a little off. See the white line there and there? They got it perfect on this side, but it's just off on that one. And that white line shows up. See along the bottom of the Super Sport? See it on the bottom of the CBX? Yeah. I'm not crazy about that. I paid good money for that decal kit. But, oh well. I mean, I'll always notice it, but it's going to knock everyone else's socks off. So that's my, well, I've talked about that before. So yeah, looking good. Progress is being made on the CBX. Excuse me. More soon. Working on my 79 Honda CBX. Still letting the paint gas off from painting, but I decided I was going to pull out my gas cap and my aluminum hold down tank, and I got from Free Plug, world's largest supplier of CBX parts, Louis Mintrone. Thank you, Lewis. You are always awesome. So he got me the little screws that screw into the base of this because I have a hold down lock on my gas can. So you're going to get to see all this jewelry in a minute. Back in a minute. And there we are out of the package. All nice and polished up. I spent a winter's day. Yeah, you can't really tell how good the gas cap turned out, but it was worlds better than it was. But yeah, we're gonna throw that. I'm gonna peel the tape off and install that. It's gonna be good. It's gonna look like jewelry. More soon. And there she is, assembled. Isn't she a beauty? Spent a winter's day inside and polished all that up. They look great. Yes. So be careful without. Is it right? Oh man. And there you go. Yep. I only work on the CBX every so often. Maybe this winter when it's so cold I can't work on chop truck. Yep. One more thing done on the CBX. More soon. Well, I guess now that you've seen a little bit of the CBX paint work done, I guess it's time for me to start talking about my 79 Honda CBX. It's a 1050cc 6-cylinder, 1978's world's fastest production motorcycle in the quarter mile. It's about 105 horsepower at 9,500 RPM, and it screams like an F1 car when you have it on full throttle. It is just an amazing sounding motorcycle. It's a big, heavy girl, though. She's really heavy, but I mean, it's cantilevered. No frame rails to go around the engine. This is a trick piece from Tim's CBX in Alpharetta, Georgia. And it is a Kawasaki alternator converted to replace to adapt to the Honda, because the original Honda alternator had clutches in it, because a direct drive alternator could not take the abuse of the 6 because it spinned up so fast and it would just take out direct drive. So they ended up putting a clutch system on the outside of it. This is not, of course, this is the aftermarket. Has a clutch and it kicks it in and out. At high RPM, it'll kick out. So on your cluster, which you can't see, well, here's a cluster. This bike something hit the bike didn't hit something. I think this bike was parked and then something fell on the bike, because the bike, I got it damaged, but it didn't look like it was a rolling damage. And the very rare 150 mile an hour Speedo took quite a beating. But here in the middle is a voltmeter gauge, which is kind of odd on a production motorcycle, but that's because the brushes would go out on these. So you're cruising, everything's cool, great day for riding, and all of a sudden, you have no electrical system. Excuse me, the brushes died. Very problematic, and I guess when the CBX runs, they call it, when the alternator is running, they call it electric crickets. It's about the best way you can describe it. So this takes care of all of that. It's reliable. It's from a Kawasaki. It can more than take the abuse of the CBX. And it's probably one of the most expensive trick speed parts I've ever bought. It was like $800. So yeah, that's probably the most I've ever spent on anything trick, brandy new. So in stock configuration, I have it all apart, because in stock configuration, it has disc brakes all the way around, but they're single piston. They made these bikes for 4 years. 2 of them are sport bikes like this, and 2 of them are sport touring. And it looks kind of like a sporty Goldwing. It's got a beautiful little fairing on it and little side mount saddlebags. But also, they got the aluminum swing arm. There's one. And the larger front forks that also came with, where's my wheel? Oh, they're over there. They're buried. Well, under the hoist here, you can barely see. I can get to it. I'll get you over there. So here's the front wheel. Now here's my favorite part. When you went to the Sport Tour suspension of the 81 and the 82, look at these vented disc brakes. They were solid on the single piston setup. So bigger brakes, and they're vented, and dual piston calipers on all 3. So what I've done is I'm taking my 79 and I'm adapting it to accept the 81 suspension. So the 81 is a monoshock. This is not a monoshock, this is a twin shock. So what I have to do is there, and then my mount's up here. So what I'm going to do is I got to take and have some tabs welded on my swing arm here, actually in here, a little piece so I can have shock mount, because this is a monoshock. This is the Pro Link suspension, and it made the bikes ride nicer, handle better, and it's beefier and lighter. Original swing arm is steel. So yeah, I have to have a little mount made here and welded in, and then I can run this, and I'm still going to run the stock shocks on this, and I'm getting rid of the single disc rear brake and the steel swing arm. I think I have to do something with the axle bolt. I think this is different. I think I have to drill this out, I think, to accept that. I think. I'll have to check. But swapping the rear suspension out, and I have the larger front suspension with the brake like I just showed you. But yeah, this is, custom seat. Distributor cap to the Big Block Chrysler. Custom seat. It's a factory pan, I believe. And somebody did this beautifully done seat. It's not, it was custom made. It's leather. And it's in great shape, and it is supple, people. So it's not an original CBX seat at all. However, it is well done. It is nice. Bought that with the bike. So look at that engine. Isn't it amazing? 6 cylinders, twin cam, 24 valves, 105 horsepower at 9,500 RPM. Yeah, baby. So, yeah, someday, this is the expensive project that gets a little bit whittled away at it. Unfortunately, a CBX is unbelievably expensive to maintain and service. They're finicky bastards. They like 1,000-mile oil changes. I polished the clutch and my timing thing, and done a lot of polish work on this over the years. I've owned it, wow, maybe 6 years, 7 years. And can't wait to see this bike done. And you've already seen the paint work, so you know how serious I am about this bike. There's a guy out of Florida, Louis Mintrone of Florida. He is the world's largest CBX parts distributor. And I've been buying quite a bit of stuff from him. I have a beautiful Russ Collins exhaust RC, and it's a 6-2. So it's 3 on one, 3 on the other, and they're chrome, and the chrome's kind of peeling, and somebody spray bombed it black, murder black at one time. I took acetone and plenty of time and just got all that paint off, and the chrome's okay. I wish I could get it done, but you know how that goes. So she'll look all right. She won't be perfect, but I'll tell you what, at least the paintwork on this thing is going to be just spectacular. So that's for the time being on the CBX. Slow goings. Takes lots of money to make things happen. Have to get the carbs pulled off, and that's a whole elaborate deal too. I got to get the suspension together, get it standing back on its own. And then I have to take loose the engine, except for one bolt on the bottom, and you gently tilt the whole engine forward, and that's how you access the carb bank. It is a humongous pain in the ass. But yeah, so that's CBX update. When I'm not working on shop truck and I just have to stay home, I can always tinker with the CBX. I have to change out here's something else I thought of. The triple tree's different on the 8182. I bought a 81 rolling chassis a number of years ago. That's where I got all my donor parts, but I got to change the triple tree out to the ProLink triple tree because the fork tubes, those are 79s. And so I got to go because I got larger front forks. Everything's larger, more millimeter. I also have a fork brace for the new suspension. I have a fork brace that goes across between the stanchions to tie it all together to make her handle better. Yes. So someday I'll get her together. Brand new rubber. I polished the wheels. Brakes are turned and ready to go. So, yeah, slow progress on the old CBX. Someday she'll run. It's my little Ferrari in my shop. Later, guys. So here have the Russ Collins 6-2 RC. Russ Collins. He had a drag bike called the Sorcerer, and I think it had like 3 motorcycle engines on it and a big slick. The thing was a bad mother jammer. But I think a company made this and just called it the Russ Collins because he was a popular drag bike guy of the era. And here are mirrors I picked up. They're Honda mirrors, but they're chrome. And CBX mirrors are flat black. So it's the right style of mirror, just not painted black. So I'm going to hit that with etching primer and then paint it flat black. And I'm going to do my triple tree parts, my brake calipers also, and rear master cylinder. Just slow progress on the old CBX. Someday we'll get it together. It's kind of in mothballs for right now, but when it gets so cold in Michigan that I can't work on chop truck, I'll come and pick at the CBX. So someday I'll get it together. But yep, more on the CBX in the future. Maybe not for a while. But yeah, CBX stuff for now. See ya.